You know, every once in a while, I'll get this feeling. And it's happened often enough and it comes along strong enough that I know when I get this feeling that I should listen to it. For example, there was this one time I was walking down the street and I thought to myself, if I turn left into this antique shop right now, I will be able to find that teapot that I've been looking for all of these months. Not only that, they'll have a variety there. So I will be able to find exactly what I'm looking for at exactly the price that I want. And it was true. I found my perfect teapot. So similarly, a couple of years back, I was on my way to work and I had that feeling. If I pick up my weed money before I go to work, that would be better than waiting. Now, I didn't really need my weed money because I was going to work, which meant that I wasn't going to be able to do anything well after, plenty of time, but I had that feeling. So I figured, better to have the money, cash in the pocket, than not. So I went, got the money, went on my way to work. Now, I worked a third shift overnight job and I had to commute. And at that time, I didn't have a car. So what that meant was that I actually had to walk a mile to the bus, to take the very last bus to the very last station in Burbank, and then walk the last 2 blocks to my gig. Now, when you do a commute like that, the only people who are really on that bus are the same people who are doing a commute like you. So if there's somebody new, that unusual face shines like a bright light. And sure enough, when I got on the bus that one time, there was this girl sitting right near the front. Could have been anywhere between 14 to 24 years old. I don't know, slight, petite, Asian girl. I did my usual bit and just went to the very back of the bus, sat, waited till we got to the very last station where I could do my usual, which is wait till everybody gets off the bus, and then I can be the last one leaving. I'm in no hurry to get to work whatsoever. So I get off the back door, she gets out the front door, and all of these other passengers filter past us. And I notice that she's kind of looking a little confused, but I move to step past her, just like everybody else does, and she stops me. She says, "Excuse me, where am I?" I said, "Well, you're in Burbank." And I move to step past her, but she matches me, and she stays in front of me. So, okay, this is a conversation. She needs to know something. And I look at her, and she's a little confused, so I say, "Well, where do you want to go?" "Woodland Hills." Okay, so she got on the right bus in the wrong direction, and now she's on the completely opposite side of the valley. For her to get to Woodland Hills from here, that could take all night. So really, she needs a bus back to Woodland Hills. Is there another bus? As we're figuring this out, we notice the bus driver has done his check. He's plopped down in the driver's seat. So I'm like, "Hey man, is there another bus back to Woodland Hills tonight?" "As far as I know, I'm the last one and I'm going home." Boom. Closes the door, pulls out. I guess that's the end of the conversation. Okay, so maybe she needs a taxi, or do you have a friend you can call, family member, anybody who can come and get you? No. Do you have any money on you? She holds out her hand. There's like 3/4, dime, nickel, couple of pennies, not even enough for the bus fare to get back to Woodland Hills from where we were. And then it starts sinking in. She's stuck. She needs a cab. And this was in the days before Uber, so it wasn't like it was just pick up the phone, boom, someone's there in 5 minutes. No, this was going to get expensive. And in that moment, that's when I realized that's why I got the weed money. Because this girl's in trouble. She needs help, and I've got the cash to get her home. Now, I can't in good conscience just leave her there and hope that she gets past North Hollywood and Van Nuys in 6-8 hour walk. I don't even know where she's going. So we find the payphone, which in those days you actually could find a payphone. But next to that, we find a card for the taxi, and you could still find a card for a taxi in those days. So call the number, cab is on its way, and I look at the girl and I say, "Okay, look, The taxi cabs charge by distance as well as time, which means that meter racks up real quick. And I don't know exactly where you're going, but I know that this $60 is probably not going to be enough to get you there. So you've got to watch that meter. You've got to make sure that you get as close as you can without going over. And hopefully that will get you close enough to either call someone to pick you up, or you can walk home, or hopefully everything's going to be all right. Okay, so watch the meter. Don't worry about tipping the driver. You'll be fine. He'll be fine. Just make sure you make the most of that 60. You got it? Good. Okay, here's part 2. Now, I don't want to go into why, but I need that money. So you're going to have to pay me back, okay? So, and I very rarely carry a pen or anything useful on me. But on that particular night, for whatever reason, I had a pen. So I write down my name and the number to my shitty cell phone on the card for the taxi cab, and then I wait with her till the cab arrives. Cab shows up, I put her in the back seat, I say, "You get home safe," boom, close the door, send her on her way. I walk the 2 blocks to work trying to figure out, thinking about everything that just happened, and I decide I'm going to keep it to myself because I really don't want to look like I'm bragging to the guys, and besides, I know those guys. I don't want to hear any jokes about missed opportunities or anything like that either, right? So, walk on my way, and then I realize I've got a bigger problem on my hands because I just gave this girl all my weed money.